YouTube, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a great day. In this video, we're going to be talking about how I personally deal with losing trades in Forex. Well requested video. So if you guys are new, stick around. I promise you guys will enjoy it. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. So I'm not going to lie. This year for me so far, January was good. February, I finished 3R in profit. Tons of missed trades. And it's just the markets haven't been giving me my entry as much as I want. Started off March today with a loss, and it was fully to plan, and I just wanted to explain how I personally deal with losses, as I know some of you may be absolutely destroying this year and doing very, very well, but I know for a lot of my friends and a couple other people that I know in this space are having a tough time, and that doesn't just mean they're losing, but it means they're missing out on trades or they're getting taken out at break even, and then the trade will run in their direction. I've been getting loads of messages asking how I personally deal with losses, how I deal with losing streaks, all that good stuff, and I'm going to cover it all in this video. I want to ask you guys, what is your process when you lose trades? Are you the type of trader who gets very, very angry and revenge trades? So that's trader one, someone who will revenge trade, try to get in right away. Trader two is someone who loses and gets so emotional they just get off right away without reassessing. Maybe they got in a little too early. Maybe there's going to be another opportunity that presents in the next little bit. So that's trader two. And then trader three is someone who loses, they know what's to plan and they just move on, right? Because I'll touch base on it later in this video, but I'm going to explain a way to look at the market when you lose that helps me a lot. So stay tuned for that one. Okay. Mass amount of people that DM me that don't have a trading plan. There's people that DM me that don't have a probability model. They don't know the stats of their own trading edge. So when you're trading and you don't have a probability model to follow, in my opinion, you're essentially gambling because you have no edge. You're just sitting at the screen, hoping for a win. You get a collective amount of wins, then you lose a bunch, but there's no probability model. There's no consistency. The consistency only comes with having a edge, having a probability model. You get that through back testing, all that good stuff. I've talked about this in later videos, but when you take a loss to plan, you shouldn't feel angry. When you take a loss to plan, there should be no revenge trading, right? There should be no, my day is ruined. And I get the person, I get it, okay? I get it. I've been there. I've been the person that when I would take a loss, guys, I would revenge trade a ton. I remember feeling that feeling, and I know the people who are new to trading, the people who are experienced, regardless, you guys have all felt the exact same feeling. We have all felt the exact same feeling, and that is that feeling of just seeing red, where you're just acting on pure emotion and you're just entering trades, trying to make back what was lost. And it can be bad. I remember reflecting back, my biggest loss ever was like so much of my account. I can't remember the percent gain of my account, or percent loss, but all I did was remove my stop loss and I kept adding to the position. This is reflecting back. This is funny because I'm sure I'm not the only one who's done that. I believe on our trading journeys, we've all kind of been there where you're just kind of entering and trying to make back the loss that you just had. But what helps the most and what gets me through, the losing periods is knowing that my trading edge is going to play out eventually, right? So for example, back testing on FX replay, I'm going to do a back testing video on this shortly. But for example, I know over 2022, the year of 2022, my max losing streak on there was like 4 trades. So I know, say I've lost 2 or 3 in a row, I know odds are in my favor that the next trade is potentially going to be a win. You got to think of it as each trade you take when you're on a losing streak is one trade closer to a winning trade. Vice versa goes for when you're on a winning streak. Each trade you take is closer to that loss, right? If you are feeling any type of emotion, any type of anger after you take a loss, to me, based on my own experience, and let me know if you guys can relate here in the comments, I only felt that way when I didn't have the data proving that to me that my strategy was consistent, right? Through back testing, through my own trades. When I was operating on a sense of emotion, when I was operating on a sense of impulse, where I wasn't following a trading plan, where I was kind of just acting on, oh, I think the market's going to do this, so I'm going to get in. And sometimes we're right? A broken clock is right twice a day. So sometimes you can get away with those bad habits. But for me, what brought clarity and peace and serenity to my trading was having the consistent results showing me, okay, this is how many losses I take. Okay, this is the series of trades that I usually take. A couple wins in a row, there's going to be a loss, right? Losses in a row, there's going to be a win. As soon as I started to think that way, losses didn't bother me anymore because I knew it was just another part of the game, right? I'll relate this to sports, and I've done this before. Say you're playing basketball, you're playing hockey, whatever it is. What are the odds you beat the team without them scoring a single goal, right? And say that they score a goal. Does that matter at the end of the day if you win, right? Does it matter if you have a winning record over time? No, it doesn't matter, right? There's going to be goals against. So if you are that type of person that is feeling emotional after a loss, you have to ask yourself, do I have the data showing me that my plan is even consistent? Have I went and back tested enough to show that my edge works over a long period of time? Because if you know that your edge works over a long period of time, you don't care about losing trades that are to plan because it's just a random probability. It's a random outcome. Each trade that I take, for example, my trade this morning on USD CHF was an A+ setup, A++ setup. I know that over a period of data, this trade works way more than it loses, right? And guess what? It lost. How I felt was this. Right? I had some Will's Effects emotional control. Shout out Will. The guy has the best emotions while being in a trade I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, shout out Will. But anyway, I was calm and collected because I know over a period of time that my trading setup is consistent, right? I know it's going to get me to where I want to be. So when I lose, it's just another day in the office, baby, right? I'm back for tomorrow, ready to go again. And guess what? If it's a win, it's a loss, I stay neutral and I'm just ready to accept whatever outcome comes because I know I'm taking trades to my plan. When you're taking trades to your plan, there should be no emotions, right? The worst thing that can happen, and again, this is from personal experience, is when you bend your trading plan to take a certain setup and it works. That's the worst. At the beginning, I would rather break my rules and lose because right away it reassures you, what are you doing? Get back to your plan. Because if you break the rules and win, then you start to go, oh, okay, maybe I got this here. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. And then it starts to bring you down a rabbit hole of jumping strategies, shiny ball, all that kind of stuff, right? So that is how I deal with losses. I just accept them for what they are, but that is because I have the data backed up showing me that my results are consistent, right? It's tough to take losses in a row when you don't have a probability model. You have no clue. You're in the dark because you have no idea when your edge is going to play out because guess what? You don't have a statistical proven edge backed up by data, right? You don't have any of that. So my advice to you traders, I know a lot of you guys, a lot of my friends that are full-time traders are watching this too. So shout out you guys. I know this doesn't really apply to you, but if this doesn't apply to you, relate back to the times when it did. Relate back to the times where you were seeing red and entering those funny trades because I've been there and I know a lot of you have too. And if you are new and you are someone who is maybe really, really frustrated with trades that are losing, you have to ask yourself the question that I said earlier. Do I even have a trading plan? Number one. Do I have an edge over the market? Number two. And number three, is this trade to plan? Because if it's to plan, dust your hands off, move on with the day because tomorrow's a new day and we can't be hanging our heads over trades that already happened. You can't. When it's done, it's done. And a saying that I like to say is after a trade, on to the next, because there's nothing that you can do about it. Make sure you're journaling your trade as well. So I'll have another video about this. I'll show you guys how I journal my trades and all that stuff. So we'll save that for another video. But one more little piece of advice. I don't know where I heard this from, but I thought it was very, very applicable. Think of a trading loss as a business expense. We have pretty much no overhead. Our overhead is our losses in trading, right? And you have to think of trading like a business. So each loss that you have, just say to yourself, business expense, on to the next, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I got some great news. I'm gonna be trying double uploads starting this week. So expect a video on Wednesdays and then normal Sundays, okay? So I'm super excited to bring this to your attention. I'm super excited to push YouTube more and see what we can do with this year. And before I leave, guys, one of my good friends, Thomas, he's running a marathon in honor of his granddad who had a stroke. It's for the Stroke Foundation. So I'm gonna leave the donation link in the description of this video. Anything, you know, helps, and it's going to a great cause. And shout out Thomas, great guy. And if any of you guys can help, even a penny helps. But so anything, all right? Instead of buying that coffee, maybe put some money towards a good cause. But that's how I'm gonna end this video. So I appreciate you all so much. What do I say at the end of every single video? Let's be 1% better every single day. And I will see you guys on Wednesday.